Nested quantifier. A quantifier is a prefix operator that binds the variable in a logical formula by specifying their quantity, and a quantification is to create a propositional form or propositional function. Now, let's see an example of a nested quantifier. Two quantifiers are said to be nested if one is within the scope of the other. There's quantifiers is for all or their existing. So now we see for all x there existing y q of x and y. Now let's talk about nested quantifiers in computer science. In computer science, you can think of nested quantifiers as a nested loop. The depth of the nested loop depends on the complexity of the problem. So now I will show an example of a nested loop in Python. So here we can see that a for loop, which says for I in range of 2, print I, which means the value of I, and the inner loop, so that's the outer loop. The inner loop is for j in range of 10 and 13, print j. So this is the inner loop. So now we can see the output is 0, 10, 11, 12, 1, 10, 11, 12. The 0 and 1 is printed by the outer loop, and the 10, 11, 12 are printed by the inner loop. There are other examples of nested loop, but this is just the simplest one that can explain the use of nested loop in programming languages. There are a lot of benefits and advantages of a nested loop. I will mention 3 of them. It reduces the number of lines in the program, reusing the code is possible, and memory size usage will be reduced. The other thing that we can use a logical expression for is to translate the logical expression to an English sentences or the opposite. So here we can see an example of translating a logical expression into English. So let Q of X and Y be the statement X has sent an email message to Y, where the domain for both X and Y consists of all students in your class. For all X, there exists in Y, Q of X and Y. So the answer is, so the sentence will be, every student in your class has sent an email message to at least one student in your class. So this is translating logical expression into English. Now let's see the opposite, translating English sentences into a logical expression. If a person is a student and is a computer science major, then this person takes a course in mathematics. So first we determine an individual propositional function to answer this, to translate this sentence to a logical expression. So we say P of X, X is a student, and S of X, X is a computer science major, and Q of X and Y, X takes a course Y, which means for all of X, P of X and S of X implies that there exists in Y, Q of X and Y, which means a person who is a computer science major takes a mathematical course.